My name is Alistair Lee, and in this video, I'm going to walk through some of the new features in Adobe Connect 12.5. Let's start by going to a sharing layout here. And one of the new features is the ability to quickly switch from one pod to another. This was possible prior to 12.5 with note pods and poll pods, but we're bringing this to almost every pod inside of Adobe Connect. Let me show you what I mean. I'm sharing a PowerPoint presentation here with my share pod. You'll notice a new arrow on the title bar though that lets me quickly switch to another type of content that can be shared in a share pod. In this case, a whiteboard. Can do the same thing with my clock over here. Go from showing my clock to a different type of content in the share pod. This works with the share pod, polls, notes, as well as other pods in Adobe Connect. It's a fast way to go from one piece of content to another. Next up, you'll notice I don't have a chat pod on this particular layout, and that's because I'm using the new chat panel introduced in Adobe Connect 12.5. The panel icon is located here at the top in the application bar, and I can open up this chat panel to see all of the chat that's happening. This chat panel works differently than a chat pod. First of all, by default, all of my participants can decide whether they're seeing the chat or not. So if they want to close it to make more room on the screen for the other pods, they've got the ability to do that. If I want to control whether participants see the chat panel or not, I can turn on Force Presenter View, and this will take that button away from my participants and enable me as a host to activate the panel or not. The other big difference between the chat panel and regular chat pods in Adobe Connect is that the chat panel will not be part of your recording. So if you want to have chat during your live session that you don't want as part of your on-demand or archive, you can use the chat panel instead of a chat pod, and that will not get recorded. Finally, one of the big new features in Adobe Connect 12.5 is located here under the Pods menu, and we've got a new option here to clear content from pods. Adobe Connect rooms are persistent, and that means you can reuse them over and over again. You might want to clear out content from your previous sessions though, and this new feature enables me to get rid of the chat from any chat pods, as well as the chat panel, remove poll results after making sure that those polls are available in your reports for your room, as well as the Q&A content from the Q&A pod. When I click Clear Content here, it'll clean up my room and get it ready for my next session. That's a quick look at some of the new features in Adobe Connect 12.5. Thanks for your time.